Today, I'm going to talk about the three reasons as to why I stopped preparing for my hypnosis sessions. And by doing that, I got even faster client results. And the reason why I got faster results is exactly the three reasons as to why I stopped preparing. So let us begin, shall we? The first one. As hypnotists, we know that our clients are only giving us symptoms to what is actually underlying in their subconscious, right? That's very basic for our hypnosis education and learnings. What a client tells us is simply the symptoms that they're experiencing in their daily life. And what is really truly driving these symptom behaviors are what is unconscious, which is what we help our clients with. So knowing this fact, knowing that they're only experiencing symptoms, there's actually something that is underlying unconsciously. Why are we prepping or making scripts or making recordings based on the symptom level when we know that the actual thing is lying underneath, right? And we don't really know what symptom is underneath until we actually do our sessions. So why are we preparing beforehand over something that is not going to be expected and we're not even going to know about? So that was the one main reason. And this is the principle of the fact that our clients are only showing us symptoms of their underlying problem. So preparing for a symptom is actually useless because what actually comes up and it's important to look at is going to be deeply hidden in the subconscious that we will not know and prepare for. Think about your client sessions where your clients had a breakthrough. Did you expect them to come up with whatever they came up with? Did you actually expect them and knew for 100% that they were going to talk about the scenes if you do regression, right? Did you know that, how their inner child was to come out and play if you do inner child? Did you know about the different parts at work before you actually did the parts integration work and finding out the role, function, or purpose of whatever issue they're dealing with, right? You don't really know that for sure. So why are we preparing? And so that was exactly why I stopped preparing because then I learned to just focus on the investigation phase. Because when you focus on the investigation phase during that hypnotic interview, then then you just get better at getting to the root problem. And then you won't need to have that script. You won't need to have that recording because you're just so goddamn good at investigating your client's root cause, their problem. So there won't be any need for all that fluff. They'll just be, you'll just rewire your client's subconscious right then and there without the need for banking on repetition, which is the transformational recording. So that was the first one. And the second, which actually relates to the first one, is that clients talk about unexpected things. So why the hell are we preparing, right? I'm sure you've had a conversation in your head, maybe an argument with someone in your head, and you're like, I'm gonna argue with this person in my head over and over again because that's what we do as humans. And then you actually talk to that person, and that conversation didn't go exactly as you planned in your head. Nothing ever does, right? I think I heard a statistic. I don't know how true this is or not, that we make shit up. Like 95% we make shit up, right, in our head. And so when, because of that true fact, why are we preparing, right? Why are we preparing for the unexpected? Because the things that we prepare for and have wasted time on, for me personally, I wasted 1 to 2 hours per client just preparing for their things. Meanwhile, unexpected things happen in the session that were much better than I planned. Because when we plan as hypnotists, we are using our conscious mind, right? That is the planning part of our mind. We're using our conscious mind. How can we consciously plan something that is unconscious from another person, which is our client, right? So, really something to think about. And when that clicked for me, I was like, shit, all that time wasted. But of course, now I know better and I no longer prep. And it's such an amazing, freeing feeling to no longer prep, but still get amazing results, right? Because as I mentioned earlier, you just get really good at investigating the root cause of your client's problem, and you won't need to prep because it never comes up. Like literally, I had one session with a client where she talked about basketballs. Like that's it. Basketballs. You know what her symptom was? Feeling resentful. How would I have known that, right? How would I have known that we were going to talk about basketballs when her symptom problem was feeling resentful? Like I can't script shit. I can't prepare for it. So that's why when you experience these things in your sessions, it actually will kind of like shake you and give you like a slap in the face and saying prepping is very unproductive. So that was second. And third, preparing actually took away from the results of my client and took away from being really present with my client and listening to them. Because what happens when we prep, we either write things or we make cue cards or we look at the thing in our computer, a document in our computer, and we're actually reading and looking through it instead of actually just being present with the client in front of us, just actually talking. There's a lot of therapeutic value in just being able to sit and listen to someone, right? Um, and this is different from psychotherapy where you're not just allowing your clients to vent and bitch. Sometimes that's useful, but at the same time, as a coach and hypnotist, you have the skills to help them move past that bitching and moaning phase, right? And so by just actually listening to them and helping it helps you to see the bigger picture too, because you're not looking at a thing that you prepared. You're not looking at your cue cards. You're just listening. You're trusting yourself. And how can that not be better for you? Right. And so when I realized that it actually took me away from being present with my client, then I stopped doing it because my clients just got faster breakthroughs when I actually listened. Imagine that. Imagine that, right? And because I also by listening and by telling myself, no, Fritz, you're not going to make notes, you are not going to prepare, that takes a lot of self-trust within myself to be able to do that, right? And because I trusted myself, that just made me personally better, but also because I trusted myself, my clients could trust me as well. So that talk about rapport building, right? That is instant rapport. When you can trust yourself, your clients are going to know that you can be trusted because you trust yourself personally. And you don't need to spend 10 minutes on rapport. You can just be person who trusts themselves, which then will automatically translate because we're always communicating unconsciously with our clients, right? So, these three things I know that I blabbered on there. I tend to do that. Tend to do that. But, these three things, knowing that everything that my client told me is a symptom and just their best guess. Why would I even prepare that? Because second, what comes up in the session is completely unexpected. So why would I waste my time in preparing for something that is unexpected? Why would I waste my time consciously preparing for something that is going to happen unconsciously? That just doesn't make sense, right? And number three, preparing took me away from being present with my client. And because once I was present, once I actually listened to my client, then I was able to get right deep into the root cause because I was able to trust myself, which then helped them trust me, have that rapport built very, very quickly. And then because of this, their breakthroughs became faster without me needing to prepare them because I just trusted my subconscious, which helped their subconscious trust me. And that's where the magic happens. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.